Hello everybody, my name is Steph, and welcome back to Steph and Her Sims, where the Sims come to life. Well, welcome back everyone. Sorry I took a little bit of an unplanned, very long hiatus there for a while. It was super stressful with school and stuff, and I go through periods where I just get tired of the Sims and I just kind of give up. As sad as that sounds, but yes. That's the truth. And here we are with my latest build. So excited. We're doing a college dorm today. And I just wanted to show you guys a little sneak peek of the really boring building outside. From my personal experience with dorms, they don't exactly look the prettiest in real life. And so I tried to emulate that because we go for realism on this channel. Not pretty, realism. And so just wanted to give you guys a little sneak peek before we pop on over to Create a Sim and I show you guys all of the characters that are going to be present in today's episode. So let's pop on over. All right, here we are. And I'm very excited to introduce our first character. Very prim and proper man we see. His name is Colton Ray Jones, hailing originally from the Lone Star State, Texas. He grew up on a large farm in a very small town. Now, I like to imagine that Simland is very metropolitous, close to very suburban areas, and also to this university is like smack in the middle between the suburbs and the city. So this is huge for him. He is a hard worker and has a perfectionist personality. He grew up as a middle child between his younger and older brother. And he has a lot of responsibility to take on in regards to the farm, and he took it in stride. He has this brimming love of music that penetrates every inch of his life. Although he doesn't play any instruments himself, he is an audio production major, wanting to produce and help create music for the industry. He is very close friends with another one of the people living in the dorm named Andrei because, we'll meet him quite soon. But because he's also a music major specializing in guitar, and they both work together to help with assignments and continuously bond over music. Next here, we have a very punk chic gentleman here. His name is Jalen Owens. A genius in his own right, Jalen breezes through school, barely going to classes yet still maintaining his perfect/near-perfect GPA. Having grown up in New York City, he knows a thing or two about, the city aspect of Simland. But the suburban area really seems quite strange to him. Feels like he's almost in the middle of nowhere, which is complete opposite to his roommate, Colton, who feels like the suburbs is a bustling city, let alone the city itself. And he is just laid back and chill, just wants to spend his days and time doing casual and relaxed things. School comes easy to him, and I wouldn't say he's lazy, but he doesn't typically like to do things, as you'll see by his disaster of a room. He actually has a full scholarship because of his grades, and his roommate, Colton, never understood how he could ace classes when he never studies or does anything. Jalen is super close with another dorm mate, Luca, who we'll meet soon, and he enjoys a bit of relaxation of the grass kind. He is a business major and a technology major, and one day wants to create his own gaming studio. Gaming is his biggest passion and wants to create beautiful and thought-provoking works of art. Next here we have Jamila Dahar, and original Simtown resident. Her and her sister decided to live on campus only because they live just a bit too far away to commute every day. She enjoys clothing and colors and fashion, which makes sense that she is a business major with a minor in fashion. She enjoys clothing. Her sister and her twin, they both share the same room, which works out perfectly because they are both going for the same thing because they want to create a clothing line one day called Dahar and Dahar. Jamila enjoys more practical fashion that can be worn in everyday life, and is super interested in more heightened streetwear than anything on the runway. But she tends to keep to herself, doodling away in her journal constantly. She has a huge crush on Colton, but she doesn't know, how to approach him. Her sister keeps egging her on, but every time she chickens out, but hopefully one day she'll be able to work up the courage. Now, here we have the twin sister to Jamila. This is Fera. On the other hand, the Jamila's sister, Fera, is into completely impractical fashion. She's super into high-end runway type that is not necessarily used in everyday life, but she thinks is spectacular. She wants her fashion to be avant-garde and unique, something no one has ever seen before. She loves to be outgoing and enjoys flirting and meeting new people. She's bisexual, so she's enjoying the time in college to grow even more and learn about herself. She isn't a physical artist, she's a computer artist, rendering her designs on the computer, unlike her sister. She loves the outdoors and usually takes her computer outside and commonly uses nature to help her create her outfits, while Jamila usually uses more technology and florist influences in her clothing. They're just both super loving and both supportive of each other, and one day they hope to take on the fashion empire of the world. Now here we have Miss Mavis Higgins, originating from the good old Britain. She is on a pre-med track, specifically a biology major, although her biggest passion is art. She chose to go into the medical field after losing her mother to cancer a few years back. She wants to make a difference and help explore new ways of treatment and medicines in regard to cancer research. She's best friends with her roommate Kira, which we'll meet next. They are opposite as opposite can get. Mavis loves black and enjoys artwork with deeper and darker meanings behind it. Loves the mental challenge of toiling over what the artist was trying to say in their work. She loves the macabre and creepy. But to herself, actually, she's quite bubbly and enjoys spending time with people. She loves calm debates and new opinions. She always feels as though she can continue to learn from others around her, and specifically wants to learn from others around her as much as she possibly can. Now here is Mavis's roommate. Her name is Kira Fig, a Colorado native. Kira is very, very close with her roommate. She is super into anything bubblegum pink and is a huge flower fanatic fever. This passion for plants found its way into her major, and she is currently a botany major with a minor in chemistry. She loves her hair and loves self-care for her skin, and so she doesn't know if she wants to go into the botany field to help create new products for skincare or to help identify and find new plants. She has on a full ride for soccer. She's a midfielder and is extremely athletic. Although she knows a lot of people because of the soccer team, she's very shy and really doesn't let a lot of people get close to her. Only Mavis has really gotten super close, and her boyfriend Ollie, who we'll meet soon. Mavis is always pushing her to get out there and let people know the real her, and slowly but surely she's coming out of her shell and letting people get close to her. Now here we have Kira's boyfriend, Oliver, quote-unquote Ollie James. He prefers Ollie. Having overcome dyslexia as a kid, he really placed within him an extremely powerful work ethic. My goodness, I can't speak. Into him. No surprise that he's on a full scholarship for physics. His dream job is to work for an aerospace institute and figure out how to put a man on Mars, or any other planet for that matter. He is a Simlin native and tends to curl up in his room for hours at a time, studying and cramming his brain with physics equations. He's also fairly shy, so it was really Mavis pushing him and Kira together that they even began talking, and eventually began dating. They work very well together. Kira sometimes gets him out of his room, trying new activities because Mavis is forcing her, like sports or going to the movies or out to eat. And he helps Kira with her botany homework, helping her keep up with her necessary GPA, while also working extremely hard on her soccer career. He doesn't really like his original name of Oliver and prefers to be called Ollie. At this point, that's just how he introduces himself. Now we move on to someone coming from a very, very far away from Simland. We have Andrei Ivanov. Very close friends with Colton. He enjoys spending his days writing and playing music. He specializes in guitar and loves to create new pieces of music and posting them online to try and get scouted by some music label. No luck yet, but he's still very popular. He comes from Russia and spent a lot of his childhood listening to rock and roll, and he wants to focus on that field of music. He basically wants a garage band dream, coming up from nothing and rocking the industry, figuratively and literally. He loves to spend his time in the city, playing to packed bars, and even on the street corner if that's what needs to be done. He just wants to get his music out there. Although his family doesn't necessarily enjoy his major, worried his dream may be too far-reaching, they still support him in any way they can. He also works sometime with Jalen, so sometimes Jalen will commission Andrei to write music for him for small computer games he has created. Colton, of course, helping to produce said music. And last but not least, we have Mr. Luca Holt. And originating from Canada, his family moved to Simlin when he was about 10 years old. He is currently undeclared, but is currently trying out a bunch of different courses to see where his interests lie. He is gay and very extremely proud of it. He actually has a crush on Andrei, but he doesn't know exactly how Andrei feels because he himself is still questioning his sexuality, so he's patiently waiting and hoping that he would be interested in dating him. But if not, Luca would still love to be friends. He is a huge pothead and tends to spend his time smoking with Andrei and Jalen. They all get together and spend quality time together, and Ollie joins them. Doesn't typically partake in the pot, but he enjoys spending time with his good mates. He's just an all-around goofball and loves to make the people around him happy and wants them laughing constantly. He believes that everyone deserves to be happy, and he is always there for anyone, no matter the time or the place. Now that we're done with character introductions, I'm very excited to show you the build. Now, I do want to manage your expectations a little bit because I try to go for as realistic as possible, and sometimes realistic is not pretty. So we're trying to just make this feel like an actual dorm room. So hopefully you guys do like it. Now we start out here in the front with this kind of little walkway. Best way I can describe it is like these two little hedges leading into the door, just very cute and simple. And this entryway just leads to these glass doors right here, which I love. I think it looks stunning. And here we also have just a sign. I thought this would be like the building name. I don't know, something like weird, like Juniper Tree Building, like something weird. Like those weird names that make no sense that colleges just apply to these buildings. Now, when you first enter, we have these two keypads on the sides where only official personnel and people living have to, sign and scan to get into the building. And we have two of them, just for one for each door, so if you have a preference. Now, coming into the main hallway, as you can see, we have two stairs going up. They really need to stay in place, but still, we have activity boards right next to the door, so as they're leaving, they know what's upcoming in the campus. Oh my goodness. See, it's been a while since I recorded a video. I'm completely inept at this. Now, over here, we just have some vending machines with this ugly, horrendous flooring, which just brings me back to my days at high school. My goodness. We have a TV that just shows announcements for the day and whatever's going on with the school, and a banner behind it that they covered up for whatever reason. Colleges can be weird like that. We have a telephone anyone's able to use, a first aid kit, of course, a fire extinguisher, and just some lockers. There's 9 people currently living here, but the lockers are just kind of there. No one really touches them actually, but it's just nice to have around just in case anyone needs to run in and just put their stuff down quickly. Now we have 2 different archways. Oh, I did forget to show you. We also do have some water fountains next to the vending machines, and in the corners next to the stairs, we just have some boilers, basic college stuff. Pay all this money and all, what do you get? Boilers in the main hallway. Now, as we go into this room, this is the kitchen. Now, it is a little bit hectic, but very large, very, very large. And they have huge freezers for everything. Everyone labels their stuff so no one eats it. Some bread, some music with some banners of the teams and stuff. Bins for recycling, garbage, cans, glass bottles, and stuff like that. And the most horrendous chairs I've ever seen in my life. Looks like an ugly sweater your grandma knit, but they turned it into a chair. But I thought it looked realistic. And technically, there's not enough seats for everyone. There's only 8 seats. So, someone's missing out if everyone wants to have dinner all at once. Now, both archways, the one in the hallway and here, lead into the same room, which is the just recreational room. Over here, we see Jalen slacking off as usual, watching a TV show, marathoning it to be specific. He's just relaxing, enjoying some time. And we have the most horrendous bookcase ever. Literally slabs of concrete blocks are holding this thing up. And there's just some books and whatever the school didn't really care about and decided to shove into a dorm. Another first aid kit and fire extinguisher, of course, for safety. Another stereo. And over here, we just have some computers that everyone can use. And here we see Colton. He is just typing away, probably doing his, music homework, mixing up some new tapes and all that. Jaws poster, because why not? And pizza boxes, because college students are not exactly the cleanest. Outside, they have a small patio area with, of course, mismatched chairs and the cheapest table I could actually find on the store. And it's just a small little patio area. The school doesn't have the quote-unquote money to maintain a nice backyard, so that's really all they get. Now, on to my favorite part. We go to the personalized dormitories. Now, as we head up the stairs, you can either take one stair or the other. It really doesn't matter. And of course, we have another first aid kit and fire extinguisher. Mandatory, something that needs to be everywhere because colleges mandate that just in case, a fire happens to break out. And as we head down the hallway, we have 5 doors, 4 of them leading to different dormitories and 1 leading to a restroom. So let's just pop into the first one, which is right here. This is Colton and Jalen's room. Now, just a reminder, Colton is the music audio producer major, and Jalen is the one who's super smart but slacks off completely. Now, Colton's side is very country-esque. You see with the pictures and the wicker baskets. We also have music, records, and, all these posters from bands. Very neat, very tidy. Definitely from his upbringing on a farm. Everything had to be in a row. All the ducks lined up in a row. Very unlike Jalen's side, which is a absolute disaster. Tons of messy posters, a mini fridge with random magnets, the ugliest bed imaginable, clothes and pizza boxes everywhere. He's kind enough to keep it to his side of his room, but, still not Colton's favorite thing in the world. But yeah, you could see he's not really into keeping up super appearances. He's just living his life the best he knows how and doing it his way. Next, if we pop over just across the hall, we have Miss Jamila and Fera. So, like I said, Fera is much more into drawing on her tablet and the computer, while Jamila is much more into actually drawing things out on a pad. So we could see those two doing their own respective talents. Of course, we have 2 desks here back to back so the sisters can work. And we have a bunk bed, very cute with little stars, comfortable. Everyone gets anything they need. And a nice little wardrobe for all their clothes. And over here, we have just their design table. First, we have over here in the corner Jamila's design, which is much more streetwear, can actually be worn maybe daily, like the top can be worn with like some jeans, that sort of thing. While Fera's, the completely unpractical fashion, is have a snakeskin bodycon dress over here. And they just kind of share this for their projects. Sometimes it can get a little messy, but they work it out in the end. They are sisters after all. They have to live with each other for a very long time. Now, we are going to pop over to the next two dorms, and we're going to pop into Mavis and Miss Kira's room. Now, Mavis's side of the room is very her. Lots of artwork because that's her favorite thing in the world. Very macabre. I mean, she has a candelabra on the side of the bed. I mean, come on. Very elegant style, Victorian style bed, and of course a black computer setup. And over here we can see Miss Mavis. She's just doing some of her homework, making sure she knows all the bones in the body, and so she can pass her biology test, no problem. And on this side, we have a very completely different view. Lots of flowers, lots of pastels, lots of pinks. This is Kira's side. She's currently catching up on some homework because she had practice earlier today. And we can see just lots of color, so many flowers everywhere. She likes to cultivate and do them. Makeup and skincare on the counter, of course. And just this adorable little wicker style bed and even a flower rug. She's very on theme. You can't say she's not. And she's just getting some homework done, and they're both just vibing with each other. Oh, and here we have a very ugly plant, of course. Hideous. And next we're popping into the final room, which actually holds 3 of our residents. My goodness. In this corner we have Andrei's side, where he has tons of rock and roll posters, a computer for posting all of his music, and right now he's jamming out sheet music, of course, so he can just practice, and this is his own little corner. Now over here we have Ollie's side with an Einstein poster, an achievement on the wall, of course a chalkboard to write out all of his physics equations, and right now he's catching up on some homework too. This is his side of the room. That's his bed right there, also gray and just very adult. Not very colorful, very bland, but he's such a genius. Sometimes you can't express all that personality like that. It just comes out in the work and the ingenious things you do. And of course, Andrei sleeps on the bunk bed with Luca. And while Luca is, doing more adult things. Because he's gay and very proud, there's tons of rainbows all around the room, posters. He kind of gets the couch, which everyone shares, but that's kind of his domain. And usually that ottoman right there in the corner, that rainbow one, is usually pulled out where the hookah is. But since he's just relaxing, he decided to pull it out instead. Another bed, just some nice bedside table with whatever stacked on it. It gets a little bit cramped, obviously, but they all get along and they figure it out. Now, onto our last room. I decided to do a gender-inclusive bathroom just because I was running out of space. So here we have 2 separate stalls and a hand dryer and also paper towel dispenser and a vanity. Just very simple and whatever. And through this door, we have just a shower. Very simple. Anyone could just lock the door behind them. It's one at a time, so it does cause some issues, but everyone figures out a schedule and it works out well. But yeah, I mean, that's really it. All of our cast is doing their homework, doing their work, and I think you've gotten a real good taste of who they are as people. Now, I do want to say thank you so much for watching, and although this wasn't a very cohesive build, because it's very all over the place. I mean, every room, every half a room is a completely different aesthetic and personality, and it gets difficult sometimes, but I'm very glad you stuck through it, and I'm so glad you're here with me today to see it. And please let me know if you liked it and if you have any ideas for the next video. And I just want to say thank you. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and I want to let you guys know that you are loved, you are important, and you are unstoppable. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone!